What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James Hsu.com,
and we're here for the MCU Marvel Cinematic Universe number 22.
Well, arguably the first real monster of the year, Captain Marvel. Well, sir, you've been waiting. You've been anticipating. You can't wait. Brie Larson. You got a young Nick Fury, young Sam Jackson.
We got Coulson.
The one-stop shop before Endgame. How you feeling after walking out of Captain Marvel?
Well, just to let you know.
Just let them know.
I was already excited.
Yeah.
Brie Larson's amazing in The Room. She's a great actress.
Yeah. Great stuff.
You know, she's a great actress. She's beautiful. Doesn't hurt. And this movie absolutely didn't let me down. Me personally. This is my second viewing. Saw it this morning, Dolby. And I said 8. I'm leaning maybe toward 8.5 now. I enjoyed it even more on the second viewing, and it seemed like it even went faster. But the first time I watched it didn't seem that way. I don't know. But Goose. You gotta get some Goose. I'm curious what happened to Goose from like 95 now to whenever Iron Man was.
Yeah.
I'm curious what happened to Goose. But yeah, overall for me, another win for Marvel. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel was awesome. Now that she's full-fledged Captain Marvel, I'm excited for Endgame because, you know, you're gonna see Captain Marvel throw down with Thanos now, and it was just so exciting. I enjoyed it so much. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you ranking it? At least in more of the recent Marvel movies. Like, is this one that you would?
I wouldn't say it was better than Infinity War. I would say it was better than Ant-Man and the Wasp. I would say it was better than Ant-Man. I would say it was better than Doctor Strange.
Okay.
I don't think it was better than Black Panther.
Do you think this was like the best way to catapult into Endgame?
I think anyone who watches this one, which is gonna be a lot of people, are gonna be even more excited now for Endgame already. Honestly, was like a 10 out of 10 excitement level for I think everybody who's seen Infinity War.
Yeah.
I don't think there was one person who saw Infinity War and said, I don't really know if I need to see the next one.
Yeah.
But I honestly believe this one took it to an 11. Because now you're like, holy crap. Like, this girl's amazing. You know, she's the most powerful superhero in the MCU anyways.
Yeah.
But Brie Larson was wrong when she said that she could go toe-to-toe with Superman. I just want to throw that out real quick. She said that today or yesterday.
You're going to get all this fighting going.
No, yeah, she said that. So she wasn't right on that. She's right on everything else, but she wasn't right on that. But
yeah, only the Batman go toe-to-toe with Supes.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this movie was awesome, dude. It was awesome. Sam Jackson was awesome. I liked how it was a different Nick Fury than the Nick Fury that we know. This one was a lot more playful and fun and stuff, you know. And now he's all serious because, well, and then Goose. What happened? Goose? Oh my gosh, I don't know that's a spoiler, but whoops. Coulson was fine, very small. Ronan the Accuser, really pointless to have him in the movie. Yeah. To be honest with you, I know they want to do those little threads, you know, like, but it was kind of useless, or it was useless.
Yeah,
it was useless. Especially the last line of "We are gonna come back
for her."
I was like, no, you don't, because we know.
Yeah.
You die. You die. We already know you don't. So I found that useless. But
maybe he went back before we knew he did.
True. I was talking to Deborah that part 2 and part 3 could be all showcasing the war. Yeah. That she went through, but then he made a good point too. He's like, well, it's kind of anticlimactic because like
we all know we're going.
Yeah. So and then I actually agreed with him right away. I was like, okay, that's true.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to see that war. But they'll probably never make a movie on that.
No, but you could do a lot of like Marvel spin-off, Captain Marvel spin-offs.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, great movie. Great movie. 8.5 for me. I really enjoyed it. It's number 2 on the top 10.
Wow. Number 2 behind?
Alita.
Oh, wow.
Come on,
so it's still not as good as Battle of the Angels.
Yeah, no. And then number 3, How to Train.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That stuck with me.
Captain Marvel, wow. So, unlike Hsu, I was kind of going in blank slate. I really didn't have a lot of expectations for the movie. I am a big fan of Brie Larson. Really enjoyed her in the room.
Beautiful woman.
You know, and the other performances, Short Term 12. I mean, definitely an actress that I think has a lot of potential. And then going into this movie, not knowing much about Captain Marvel, you know, not a character that I read about, you know, strictly in like Batman territory, occasionally the popular Marvel superhero. Never knew much about Captain Marvel, but obviously there's a lot of excitement.
And me either.
Getting like a full superhero movie featuring a woman, obviously something that people have been, the MCU fans have kind of been asking for. You kind of have this really fun play where we get to play with time travel going back in the 90s. We get to play with all this new technology where we make Sam Jackson
good soundtrack,
all that fun stuff. But for me, I don't think I liked Captain Marvel. To be honest, I think the first act of the movie is really rough. Like, I think that first 30, 40 minutes is just really disconnected me from really like getting into the movie at all. And while the movie I think does improve in its second and third act, I don't think it really like finds its rhythm ever. And I think that this is a movie that I wanted to really enjoy, and I just think that there was so much going on and I cared so little that I just won't take away a lot from this movie. I think it's one of the first movies that doesn't really feel like it's an MCU movie, or specifically kind of like the MCU movies that we've been seeing over and over again, but it also doesn't stand out in terms of style like Ragnarok or Black Panther or these other movies that have kind of really changed what we know as the MCU. This movie just feels really out of place, to be honest. Like, I kept thinking this was like part Men in Black and all these different movies, and it just felt like its tone was all over the place. I mean, you have these very serious moments and these very tense moments where Brie Larson is able to, bring in some heavy-duty performance, and then we have like these cat jokes, and we have the funny-looking alien that feels like they're out of Men in Black, like part 2, and to me it just doesn't click, and I just had no emotional investment. I didn't really care about what Brie Larson was doing or what her journey would needed to be, and in all the glory and all the fame when she is Captain Marvel, I just did not have any excitement or like attraction to the screen. I think there are good moments in this movie, but for me, it's more towards bottom of the barrel. I think it was one of my least favorite MCU movies, and it's just one that did not connect with me. And anyway,
what about as a film? It sounds like what, 1.5 out of 4?
No, I mean, I think there is a lot of potential, but for me, I just think the biggest void was that I didn't have fun. No. I would put it more on the half scale.
Okay.
Like, I think it's a 2. I think for some of its visual effects. I mean, obviously, I think Brie Larson has some really strong moments, and I think there are some great action pieces, but all that to me doesn't mean as much if I'm walking out not feeling pumped, not feeling moved, not feeling any emotional reaction. This was kind of those movies where I was sat there and I was watching it and I'd be like, okay, and then but I mean that first part I think really is a big negative on the movie. I think it really hurts you, and by the time it starts to pick up speed and really go in a direction that you're interested in, I think a lot of people might be checked out. But I don't know, it seemed like we had some, I mean, to me, I was trying to gauge the audience and we had some really positive feedback, but then like I've seen multiple people fall asleep. But it's a late night, it's Thursday.
Yeah, I never count.
You can never count.
I never count that.
But I do think there is like some.
I fell asleep 10 minutes.
An interesting way. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
See, and I think there's
but
some.
But also been up since.
But
6
I mean,
a.m.
I think that's an interesting way of how you're going to vibe with.
And I had a 4-hour shoot earlier.
Yeah, of course. A lot of people are busy. As I said, I'm not saying that this automatically makes us good, but at the same time, I also think that affects the same way. I think a lot of people could be happy because the movie just ended, the credits just rolled, we just had a fun time. I think over time, I think Captain Marvel doesn't make a print on MCU as big as I think a lot of people wanted it to. I do think it's awesome that we had some really great kick-ass women role models, and we have like that whole feeling behind it. But I think at times this movie crossed that line where it feels soapboxy, and I think sometimes it feels kind of shoehorned in to make the point that this movie is like pro women and it's all about the feminine, and I see that kind of bums me out because that's what a lot of this controversy going into this movie is all about, right? We have all these people who are calling it like feminist, force-fed, I mean, all these political things about this movie, and I'm not chiming in on either sense. There should be women superheroes, there should be men superheroes, whatever. That doesn't really matter to me, but I just feel like this movie was really trying to shoehorn in a message that I just kind of felt like was poking at me a little bit too much. It didn't feel natural.
How about outside the movie, how do you feel about the character of Captain Marvel with I'm assuming a better writer.
Yeah.
Going into, let's say,
I think. I mean, obviously, with
or in the future, because they want her to be the new lead of the MCU.
I think Brie Larson is one of the more talented people you could get. I think she has not made such a face for herself that you could really create a legacy behind her as Captain Marvel. I think the character obviously has endless possibilities. You could do a lot of great stuff. And I'm not even saying the story here was the worst. It's just that I think we need to find something a little bit more grounded and really be able to connect on an emotional level with Brie Larson, or just to like her. I could honestly say, just watching this movie, I didn't even say that I liked her. Like there was like her. I don't think she was charming. I don't think she was likable.
I thought she was really charming.
And I'm not saying Brie Larson as an actress. I'm just saying as the character. Like I loved. Granted, I don't think Doctor Strange is one of the better MCU movies, but I mean, at least that character made an impact. I mean, he was suave, he had this cockiness to him, and
I thought she was funny as hell.
See, I didn't find her to be. I found it to be
and very
like
quirky.
generic. Yeah, see, I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, though that's there. Like that was definitely on their agenda to make her the sarcastic, smart-ass chick. You know, like that was definitely there. But to me, it just fell on deaf ears. It just feels weak. It doesn't feel really embedded. It just feels like they want us to assume she's the one that gives everyone attitude. Like she's the one, you know. And obviously good. I mean, because she eventually becomes the one woman who could stand up for herself and doesn't be saved by a man and all that. But the way that they present it just feels cheap. Feels not cheap, but generic. Feels, you know, we've seen it many, many times. And I just feel like I've seen a lot of. It just didn't even have that tone of a Marvel movie. I didn't have fun. I wasn't like excited. I didn't want to cheer. It was just, to me, a very fine movie that I watched very passively.
Someone has some expired popcorn.
I don't know what's going on. And I told you this, you know, while I wasn't like pumped up like you, I went in really clean slate, like hoping to just really enjoy and find a new character to really love. And I was kind of bummed. I found myself trying to defend moments, and overall, just walking out of that movie, I gotta say, I wasn't that big of a fan.
How'd you like the end credit scene?
I thought the last one was a waste of time. And again, like contributes more to like this being more.
You
like,
found it as a waste of time on the same level as the one where Captain America's in front of the gym?
No.
Because they were both comedic ones.
No. I mean, I think both of them are useless.
Oh, okay.
With
so you
Spider-Man and Spider-Man.
You find always the latter one that's a comedic relief is a useless.
Yeah.
Okay.
And especially like at least if you throw things, you know, at least for you know, in the case of Spider-Man, you get to see Captain America, a character you're not seeing, where in this movie it's someone, you know, it's like something we've already seen.
You didn't like Goose?
What was Thor's? I thought Goose was cute. I think that was a good gag the first three times they used it, and then, you know, it gets eventually kind of old, and you're just like, wait, what is this? We're in this, you know, and it doesn't fit to me.
But
what else?
Guardians of the Galaxy fit?
No, but Guardians of the Galaxy was different enough that everyone kind of really enjoyed its spunk, where this feels like we're trying to recreate it. This feels more like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 than it does 1. Thor had a jokey one
where they were making out, and then that animal was like going through New York.
Oh, okay. Because I thought like Jeff Goldblum had a moment too, where he's like wandering around.
Yeah,
that was
kind
of
one too.
Yeah. See, like I mean,
that was Thor 2 I'm talking about.
Like there's, you know, it's always good to see more, I guess. I mean, I'm not complaining of that, but when at one point, like the end credit scene meant something really significant, and the first one in here does, and the second one.
What do you think of the first one?
No, the first one, like to me, that was the weirdest thing. Spoiler alert! Obviously, we're going to talk about the first end credit scene because it was the first time in the movie that I remembered like this is supposed to be fighting towards the Avengers. Like I just felt like we were in a total different universe. Like not like in the movie, but just like I didn't feel like I was in the MCU. I didn't feel like I was worried about Captain America and Iron Man. It just felt like its own.
But you're not supposed to be worried
movie.
about them in part 1.
No. I'm not saying I should be worried about them. And I'm not criticizing the movie for that. But then just to be like, oh yeah, so like basically this is this girl. We've built 20 movies to make one of the most like epic things, and it just feels like we just threw everything in here so quick. The one who's gonna, you know, play a major role in the next movie. It just feels like so rushed, and in that whole movie, I never felt like that spirit, that like whole Marvel connection. You know, I think even in Black Panther, what I enjoyed about it was that it was so distant and so small scaled and not involving with everyone else. Still had that feeling. This movie, even like I mean, the soundtrack was fine. I feel like this movie feels like a very knock off Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy had that great like pop 80s soundtrack and everyone loved it. And now we do the 90s, right? What else do you do? So, not the worst thing you could see. I think obviously if you're a fan of the MCU, you should see it. I think Brie Larson has some potential, but not a favorite of mine.
Do you think this was one of the worst for you?
I mean, it's down there.
What's better, Thor 2?
That's rough. I don't know. I would
Oh,
say.
you gotta debate it though.
Yeah. No, I mean it would definitely be down there with me, like with Avengers 2. I would put Avengers 2, Thor 2. It would be down
Captain
there.
Marvel.
It's definitely probably the bottom 5.
Guardians Volume
Guardians 2.
Guardians
Probably-
2 wasn't good.
No, it's terrible.
Just being honest.
Well, here's the thing, and this is what's really cool about Marvel in a sense is that none of those movies are truly awful.
None of them are. They're
But
just
they're
not
just
good
not
compared to
good,
those.
and that's how I feel about Captain Marvel.
That's okay.
So, anyway.
Yeah, because if you're saying this is horrible, but it's still a 5 out of 10 or a 2 out of 4,
Yeah, but I'm not saying it's
Still
horrible.
good.
I just feel like for me, I just had no connection to it, and that's rough to like love a movie where you don't get much feeling.
you should learn to love women.
Oh, great! That's all I need is that like I don't like it because I'm one of them, and all that, or I'm one of them, all these categories. Let's not stick to other categories. I just wasn't a fan of the movie. He liked the movie, and we're still friends.
Yeah, because I hate one of your favorite movies of all time.
And I hate probably yours too. I don't think I like 3 of your top 5, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
And that's the beauty of movies.
Yes, because next week we're back here
Again!
to see some good stuff, and we hope you're going to join us here at AMC Taps.
What are we watching that's good stuff?
Well, we have some choices. We could watch Wonder Park,
Okay.
the animated amusement park film, or 5 Feet Apart, which is a little bit of a romantic love story, which I'm sure Shu's going to be all over. I believe Timothée Chalamet,
I'll probably watch that then.
top-notch guy, going to be around. And then next week,
After that,
22nd,
us.
one of my favorite trailers, maybe like top 5 trailers of all time. Us.
Really?
I love that trailer.
Like
Like
that?
you love Logan's trailer.
Jeez.
Like the Planet of the, I think the Rise of the Planet, no, the War of the Planet of the Apes trailer, that trailer, Dark Knight Rises, like those 3, like those, I can watch them over and over and over and over again. I'm pumped.
I don't think anyone even really knows what Us is about.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
That's a good trailer.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we're going to join us here next week. It's always fun, no matter what we're watching, and we want you to join us here.
Did this lower you a little bit for Endgame?
No.
Did nothing.
No. It didn't.
Didn't lower it.
It
You're
didn't
still
hire,
pumped.
didn't lower. Yeah, like I know what I'm getting into, and to be honest, like I told my fiance that like you need to you need to watch this pre Avengers. Like you can't finish it without going through. And while I guess it does tell you some pretty important things, I didn't find the movie to be essential. Like I could just say, Captain Marvel's this character. She's from a different galaxy. Now she's here, and I don't think like that has that same impulse to be like you need to watch this before Endgame. So like without it didn't alter because it doesn't feel like it belongs there. So that's why I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Endgame is
the last Thursday of
26th.
April, so that sounds right.
So if I were you and you're watching this, so chances are you are excited to see Endgame. Mark your calendars, text this guy at 702.
3485618.
Comment below because we are going to fill up quick. We need to get reservations
We had a full house,
in early. I mean, it's going to be
full
well,
house.
yeah. And people are asking about Endgames
Already.
like buying group
This
tickets.
guy just bought 60.
So guys, get on it. Don't mess around. Even though it is a month away, get prepared. Text this guy and let him know you want to be here because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Most important thing I think we learned today is this.
That what?
ChasingSimba.com is known as
The Film Lovers website.